Hello, my name is Shayla Veasley and I'm the athletic trainer from the PSAL. I'm here today for your career day to talk to you about why athletic training is a great career choice for you to consider for your future. Without further ado, let's get started. Not too long ago, I was just like all of you. I was a high school senior and I was going off to college, and at the time I really didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I did participate in a few different clubs and activities. I was in what's called the Interact Club, which is a community service organization. And through the Interact Club, I learned that I really do like to help people. And I also was in symphonic orchestra, and during my time in orchestra, I learned that I really like to be creative and I really like the arts. And outside of those activities, I also was really athletic, and I was the captain of the gymnastics and the golf teams at my high school. And why don't we take a quick look at some of my athletic clips? After high school, I attended the University of Connecticut, go Huskies, and it was during a freshman week seminar that I learned more about athletic training as a career choice. It really spoke to me because it was a way for me to continue helping people, and it combined that with my love of sport. I went ahead and applied for the program in my sophomore year at UConn, and I did get in, and I was so happy to start working with athletes on the UConn campus as well as at some area high schools. Our program only had 8 students in each class, and from junior year on, I only had classes with the 8 students that were in my grade. So we had an awesome time together. It was a very family-oriented atmosphere, and what you'll find is a lot of athletic training programs are around that size. Towards the end of my senior year at UConn, I took my medical board exam called the BOC exam, and I passed it. So after graduating from UConn, I was officially a certified athletic trainer. I wanted to be able to grow professionally and learn some advanced skills, so I decided to enroll in an athletic training master's program. Out of all of the programs that I applied to and interviewed with, I decided to go to the University of Kentucky. Go Cats! After completing my degree at UK, I came back up to the Northeast and I began working with the PSAL. Athletic trainers are medical professionals who work underneath a physician and specialize in the prevention, evaluation, and care of injuries in physically active populations. We do get a lot of questions about whether or not we are personal trainers, and the answer is no. Personal training is a completely different career path, and personal trainers' main goal is to help people reach their fitness goals. Whereas athletic trainers, our main goal is to keep our patients safe and return them to their field court or place of work as soon as possible. We also get confused with physical therapists, and like physical therapists, we can rehabilitate our athletes back onto the field or our military back out into the line of duty. However, unlike physical therapists, we only work with physically active populations, where physical therapists see way different types of patients. Outside of that, a physical therapist requires a doctorate degree in order to practice, and an athletic trainer requires a master's degree. So there is a little bit of a difference in the educational requirements as well. Outside of those two professions, sometimes when people see us running onto the court or the field during an athletic injury, they may think that we are doctors or EMTs, and the answer are that we're neither of those either. Athletic trainers can provide a high level of advanced pre-hospital care to people who have been injured, but we have different educational requirements than EMTs as well. Most of the time when we think about athletic training, we think about sports of all levels, from youth all the way through Olympians and professional athletes. They all utilize athletic trainers. However, there are some other industries where you can find athletic trainers working with other physically active populations. One example of this would be with the performing arts industry. There are athletic trainers that work with ballet companies and Cirque du Soleil and Broadway shows and a lot of different performing arts productions. Once we move out of performing arts, there's also athletic trainers who work with the military, and the military athletic trainers are either civilians, which means that they are not on any active duty and cannot be deployed, or they are active duty where they can be deployed and can work with soldiers on the front lines during a deployment. Additionally, athletic trainers also work with the workers who work in factories. They do a lot of lifting and they need to learn how to protect their bodies from the physical work that they're doing. Let's take a look at some athletic trainers in action taking care of an injury on the field. There's an injury on the kickoff. See if you can spot it as it happens in real time.
We're underway with the college football season for UConn and UCF, and Keon Dixon on the return for the Huskies. It's across the 15-yard line. He's down at the 16, and that's where UConn's offense will go to work. Player down.
Here we see the injured player, and then the athletic trainers rush onto the field. They do a quick assessment and realize that there could be a serious neck injury. From here, they activate their emergency action plan to get a stretcher on the field to take this athlete to the hospital. They will be spine boarding him so that if he does have a neck injury, they can help to not make it any worse. Here we see the athletic trainers from UCF and UConn working together to get the athlete up onto the stretcher using as little motion as possible. There are a few qualities that I've noticed over the years definitely make someone more successful as an athletic trainer. Number one is you have to like gross things. There's no shortage of blood and guts. So if you're someone that gets really squeamish at the sight of blood or couldn't imagine seeing a bone sticking out up close, athletic training may not be the career choice for you. We have a lot of gross things. So if you think gross is cool like me, this is definitely where you belong. You also have to be able to be calm under pressure. As you just saw in that video, it's a high stakes moment out there on a college field. A lot of people are concerned for that athlete, and you have to be able to take an emergency situation and make sure that all of the protocols are followed in a clear and concise way. You have to be able to problem solve. You're not always going to have all of the tools that you may want or require to make an evaluation or return to play decision. So you have to be able to adapt and use what you have to come up with those decisions. You also have to be a team player. You are going to be working with many different medical professionals, from physicians to sports psychologists, strength and conditioning coaches, nutritionists, as well as with the athletes, the parents, the coaches, and any athletic administration staff. So you have to be able to work with all of those individuals to make sure that you are reaching the goals of the athlete and of the team that you're working with. Last, you have to be able to effectively communicate. You are talking to a lot of different audiences, so knowing what you can and cannot say, or knowing how to break things down for someone who may have a harder time understanding, will be really important in order for you to be a successful athletic trainer. Athletic training has recently gone through a transition from a bachelor's level program into a master's level program. So in order to sit for our Board of Certification medical exam, you must complete your master's first. The Board of Certification exam, unlike what you've seen on Grey's Anatomy, is a computerized test comprised of questions from all of the domains of athletic training, and they'll test your skills on anatomy, injury prevention, injury care, and rehabilitation. There are some considerations that you should reflect on as you are trying to decide if athletic training is a good fit for you. No 2 days are ever the same in athletic training, and I really enjoy the fact that my days can be different. I'm not sitting behind a desk, and it's a fast-paced and exciting environment. However, if you are someone that likes a more structured schedule, this may not be the best fit for you. Additionally, there is a lot of long hours in athletic training. Usually athletic trainers are the first ones in the morning to open up the training facilities, and they're usually one of the last people to leave at night. So if you are considering looking into being an athletic trainer for a collegiate or professional team, usually that will mean doing 80 to 90 hours per week. Outside of that, the average salary in New York for athletic trainers is around $50,000. This number will vary based on the level of team or organization that you are working with. Military athletic trainers, for instance, make more than this. However, it's not uncommon to find a youth sports athletic trainer making less than this amount. If you do have any other questions about athletic training, please feel free reaching out to me. My information is available on the PSAL website as well as on the screen for you here. It was a pleasure talking with you today about athletic training, and I wish you all good luck in your future endeavors.